And then I'm going to turn on the AI summary. You may have a dialog box to check. And then we'll get right to it. All right, joining us today, we also have Christine, who is GoWest Summit colleague. You may have some communications with her as a state sponsor or otherwise. She's part of our marketing team, and we'll be pulling together, if she has not yet already done so, your marketing pieces for all of your pre and post FAM trips. I think we've received 4 so far. Once we get a couple more, then we'll start pushing these to our socials and getting the conversation started. And then once we get all of them, then we will go live and start receiving some requests. So before we get started, I want to talk about sort of our outline of things that we're going to talk about today. And if you have any questions at all, ask your question, but we will also open it at the end of this session for your questions as well. What we're going to talk about today is what the registrants see. Of course, buyers and journalists are invited to submit requests to join any of your FAM trips. So we're going to drop in as a test buyer so you can see what they see in the process that they go through when they submit their requests. And then we're going to drop in as an administrator as well. You should each have your own unique login information for your respective FAM trips. And if you'd like to follow along, you can do so, but I'll also share my screen as we log in as an administrator ourselves and do a step-by-step. As an admin, we're going to talk about the review process, how you access company information for those requesters, how you can communicate with the delegates, and also, of course, the approval process. We'll also talk about the communications that the delegate receives and how to confirm delegates once they are approved. And then I've asked each of you already to be thinking about who on your team, if it's not you, is responsible for receiving a daily summary of requests or changes to your FAM trip. So let me know in an email, or you can throw it in the chat box, the email address of the person who should get these daily summaries. And know that you only get one if there are any changes or new requests. You can do like I do and set up a rule if you have Outlook and have them go into a specific folder so they don't get crazy. All right, so I'm going to share my screen if that's okay with you. This is always so fun. Boop. All right, so you should see at the top, edit FAM trip, adventure day trip. Is that correct? Yep, thank you. What we're going to do is find my test account. So your back end, if you log in, looks a lot like this, but it obviously doesn't have this many options. But I think it's always fun for everybody to see our back end. And, oh, I can't wait to see how AI summarizes that comment. Let's log in as this test buyer. Yes, I am blushing. All right, so right now, this buyer is registered and ready to go, and we just dropped into their landing page. Not much is happening with FAM trips here, and that's because, of course, they haven't gone live. You scroll all the way down, you see destination day. So let's turn on the FAM trips. Let's make them active. And I can do this at any time. It's just a quick button. So if we're getting close to capacity for your FAM trip, let me know, and we can just make it inactive. So let's refresh. And here you'll see, of course, a link for the FAM trip RSVP process will be posted on their landing page, and it's also available here under registrations as well. This is where they can register, and they can also check their FAM trip status. So earlier, this morning, I logged in as this buyer and I submitted 9 requests for the 9 fam trips that we are expecting. You can see there's a details button beside 4 of them, and if you click it, it opens up the marketing piece that Christine and her team have pulled together for more detail. And before that goes live, of course, she'll send that along to you for approval before we post them. So as a user, I have the ability to rank the fam trips in the order in which they're important to me. So I really want to do Experience the Beyond. My second choice is Northern California Escape, and so on. And new this year, we've added the text box so that this buyer can explain why they think this is a good fit for them. Back in the past, you just sort of had to, as a fam trip organizer, you had to dig down into their company profile and sort of pull the puzzle pieces together to see why they might be interested, or if they're a good fit to join your fam trip. But here we give them another quick ability to sort of talk you into letting them go with you on your trip. So once you click register, the buyer gets a little confirmation, and then they can check their fam trip status if they want to. You see everything is pending. That is what, oh, and of course, it's also available on the front side of the website as well, under fam trips. And you see here is the marketing team's 4 received pieces already with some notes about the fam trip approval process. And you're welcome to take a look at this on your own time. Hover over event details and click fam trips. All right, let's talk about the admin interface. Let's see, I think I remember Autumn's email address or login info. So I'm going to log in as Amber. Oh no. There we go. So this is what your interface looks like. It's limited, obviously, because you're just, at this point, a fam trip partner. You're presenting a fam trip. You see Autumn's Anchorage, Alaska trip is right here on top. And if you scroll down, you'll see that one request that I submitted earlier today. There are a bunch of filters here that may be useful to you, including you can check to see, you can give it sort dates. So if you were gone for a week and you've already approved the previous requests, you can enter a date range here, and it'll just pull up those requests that were received when you were out of the office. Or you can search with any of these filters as well, company name, person, or address. Or you can leave everything blank, click search, and you'll get all of the pending and confirmed requests that you've received. Also on this page is a registration stat table, which is a great glance, at a glance, where everyone can see all of the basic information for all of the other fam trips. You'll see Autumn's is the only one that we have a capacity for. She's the only one who's told us that they are looking at 10 people at max. So if you want to get me that information, I can populate that as a reminder to you to let you know when you're getting closer. And of course, the system will remind you when you're getting close to your capacity as well. And that also is flexible and modifiable. That's a fun at a glance to see how everybody else is doing. So from here, you can see my one request. There is some company information here. If you click, that will populate. that will help you learn a little bit more about the company, including profile data. So if you are looking for buyers and journalists who are currently or interested in developing business in certain states, you can see that this information has been completed on their profile. And so Autumn will log in and see that, oh, they are interested in developing business in Alaska. That might be a good match. And then again, here is the text box where they are asked why it's important for you to consider them for their fam trip. Also here you have their email address. If you have any questions, you can contact them directly and ask them as many questions as you like. Also here you can see there's an all requests button. If you click it, it'll open up all of their other requests if they've submitted any additional requests. And what you're looking for is a high rank. As a fam trip organizer, it is important that you let the higher rank, their higher ranked choices be considered first. So you'll see she's number 3. And for prefams, this test buyer has indicated experience the Beyond as their first choice. So Autumn would wait until their first choice has an opportunity to consider the request. You see they have submitted Northern California Escape as their second choice, but that's a post-fam. So that doesn't compete with the pre-fam. So all Autumn has to do is wait for Experience the Beyond to consider the request, either approve or deny it, and it'll say approved or denied here. And if it's denied, then of course she's good to either approve or deny the third choice request. And of course, if it's not a good match, deny it, even if it's a 5th or 6th choice, just to clear it off of your system. And once you do approve it, let's approve one real quick. You see you get some new options here. You get a clear option. So if you click approve accidentally, you can clear it and it'll keep the registration, but it'll remove that approved flag. It's really hard to mess up anything back here. So don't be afraid to poke around and press things. If you do click remove though, then that person will have to log in and resubmit their request. So be careful with the remove button, but even that is something that we can fix. Let's talk a little bit about the delegate communications. And again, you can use this email in their profile to connect with them directly. Or if you would prefer Go West Summit be in the middle, we're happy to resume communications with them as well. If you'd like to send an email for approvals, once you have a couple approved, let's approve my test again. You can click the box of the person or people who you would like to send an email to. Click the email notifications for approval box and then click approve. And then the delegate will get an approval email. If you don't do this, then they have to rely on logging in and checking to see whether any of their trips have been approved. And here you can see Autumn's trip has been approved. Once the approval goes through, they get a confirmation request, and all they have to do is click it to confirm their participation. What we found is that as many times as or the more times that we ask them to confirm or submit their requests, the better it is when it comes to actually attending. The more reminders, the better in this case. It is optional to send out that approval confirmation, but I would recommend it. just to be sure that they're getting touched as many times as possible. Oh boy. Now let's talk a little bit about, about these email confirm links buttons. These are two grayed out buttons that once you reach capacity and you ask me to close your trip, they will become available to you. And what these buttons do is they allow you to, another way to communicate with all of your group in one big email. Of course, you can copy and paste their emails into your Outlook and send them a direct message, or you can use our system to do that. Email confirm links is a similar version to what we did when we sent the approval email. It sends them an email asking them to confirm their participation. As a matter of fact, I think I have that here. Here's one from last year. You've been approved. Please log in and confirm your participation as soon as possible. Now, we talked a little bit about those daily emails that you as FamTrip organizers can expect to receive. And again, it's only one per day. They show up about midnight. And so when you log in the morning, you'll have that one email waiting for you. We want to be clear that as Go West Summit employees, our typical response to questions about FamTrips is to simply respond saying, we don't know, we'll find out, or if we know, of course, we'll let them know, and then forward the request along to you as the FamTrip organizer. And as we get closer to Go West Summit, we will start to receive more and more requests about pending requests. So in order to keep things moving along and for them to book their tickets, it's important that FamTrip organizers review and respond to requests in a timely manner. Of course, it's not just you, your trip that is hanging on the line. Of course, they have multiple ranks. So know that if you're holding up the system, you'll start to get some emails from me, and that's always fun. For FamTrip administration or delegate questions, I will be your main point of contact. So if you have any questions at all, you can pick up the phone and call, or I'm usually pretty quick to respond to emails as well. So send me a quick email if you have any questions. I'm going to stop my sharing and then open it up to questions at this point. What questions do you have for me? Sure is quiet. Oh, Jackie, you're on mute.
I clicked button and apparently didn't go all the way through. What kind of time frame should we anticipate for anyone who has applied to be a part of the FAM? We've approved them, and then something happens and they need to cancel. Kind of, what? Obviously, we never know if somebody needs to, but what maybe would be the proper procedure to bring someone in that had previously been declined, or how does that work?
Yeah, you'll sort of have a built-in waiting list
Okay.
of folks that you have declined previously. If you've got your FamTrip ready to go and you close it, and then somebody says, oh no, I can't go for one reason or another, you can contact those that have declined that may fit the bill for your FamTrip and start going down the list. We can also open it up again if you would like to open it up to new requests.
Okay.
Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen?
Remind me, Bob, how soon does this go live? Just when you have all the information?
Yeah,
So
when
fairly soon?
we'd like to go live all at the same time, because if we kind of, if we put them out a little bit at a time, somebody might find one that matches their markets better. And it just sort of sends things in a tizzy. So as soon as we get all of the trips that we're expecting, then we will go live. But once we receive the majority of the fam trip itineraries, then we'll start posting these on our social media so that we can get that conversation going.
Bob, just to add to that, if I may, we do have a newsletter coming out for September that's supposed to be scheduled for this Thursday, which we can certainly push back a week or so if we're still waiting on some trip and itinerary information. But the sooner the better, if possible.
Yep, of course, we're getting buyers and journalists who are asking when those will be posted, and that's kind of the last bit of the puzzle for Go West Summit. We've already posted the destination day information and hotel information, and now it's time to get fam trip information out so that buyers and journalists can book their travel. And one question we have on chat is please review the review process again. Okay, so that is if you are a post fam, then your only competition is our other post fams, and of course it's up to you as a fam trip organizer to approve someone when they've already been approved for, say, a pre-fam. It doesn't happen often. I don't know too many buyers who can take a week and a half to 2 weeks out of the office, but it does happen sometimes where they request both pre and post trips. But remember that you're only competing with pre if you are presenting a pre trip, or post if you're presenting a post trip. So let those higher ranked administrators have a chance at it before you approve their request. Thank you. What else we got in chat? Thank you, Lindsay, for your number. All right, Ted says, for responding, I saw approved and denied, but I also saw confirmed, unconfirmed, and both. Yeah, these are just filters for your search box here. So I'm going to log in as me. And then you'll see that it will show only confirmed folks. And right now, none have been confirmed. Once we start confirming folks, this list will populate down here. And of course, confirmed means that they've clicked that link once you've approved them. You're welcome, Ted. Rachel says 8. All right, 8 for Lindsay as well. So yeah, think about your capacities and also let me know who should be receiving these daily summary emails. And remember that we are here ready to assist at any point. As a matter of fact, I was the fam trip organizer for, or not organizer, but administrator for Travel Nevada earlier this year. So I have firsthand knowledge with the whole process and can help at any point. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for joining us. And wow, 26 minutes. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Good seeing your faces, you guys. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.